Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Exec Craft. And my name is Josh Gould, and we're going to be covering on this strategy session why AI programs typically fail. I'm going to start off with an analogy. Imagine that you have a car and it doesn't have an engine inside. You can't go anywhere, right? Doesn't matter how good the steering wheel is, how beautiful it looks. So you go and you buy an engine online and it comes in a box. They call them a crate engine. But unless you plug that engine in, it's no good, it's no use. And not only do you have to plug it in, but you have to wire it into a computer system that knows how much gasoline to give it, how much air to give it, how the injectors are going to work. It figures out the timing of everything so that when you press your foot on a pedal, like the gas pedal, it goes forward and it goes at the speed it's supposed to do so. And when people implement these really complex AI engines, they forget to plug it into their data. And it's actually, in my opinion, the number one reason why AI programs fail when they're put into companies with technical people, because they simply don't give it access to their data. And what they then end up with, essentially, is a very expensive version of the free ChatGPT that you can get online. And it's not that that free ChatGPT isn't any good. It's a great chatbot, but it doesn't have access to your data. Therefore, it can't give you insights and make decisions on your business. Now, the second reason why I see them failing is actually a more simple reason and far less technical. And that's because projects are undefined. You have CEOs who have got a lot of pressure from boards and they're saying, we want AI, we believe in AI. AI is the future. AI, AI, AI. But the reality is they don't know why they want it. So they implement it anyway to make their boards, to make their CEOs happy. And then you have these engines. And even if you've implemented it with all the data access, what is it supposed to do? Why are we putting it in? And that leads me on to my third reason. It's not just defining the program. It's understanding what the processes are behind that program. So if you implement AI, all it's going to do is essentially put your business on steroids. It's like taking speed. It's going to do everything really quickly that you ask it to do. Now, if your process is broken, it's going to do a broken process really, really quickly. It's going to scale a poor process and it's going to scale poor results. So you have to have phenomenally good manual processes before you can start to automate them utilizing artificial intelligence. And I'll give you a real world example. I called my bank the other day because someone tried to reset my password and I got on with an AI agent and it went through everything and I spent a lot of time on the phone with it, but it wasn't connected to the data of what I was actually trying to do. So it couldn't tell me if it was someone else that tried to reset my password or whether it was me, which I did try and reset it 2 days prior, and there was just a delay in the email. So I spent a long time. It was a really bad experience for me because for 5 to 10 minutes, I was trying to resolve a problem with a computer that didn't have access to the system and it didn't have a good process. And eventually I spoke to a person, which it put me through to. Now, again, broken process, it put me through to the wrong person. I needed to go through to the private banker because the average person in the call center can't get access to my accounts. So then I had to sit again for another 20 minutes on hold, waiting for the private banker who eventually helped me with my problem. So you've really got to have great processes, well defined. They've got to work in the manual world. You've got to also understand why you are bringing in AI. You can't just bring AI in for the sake of AI, and you've got to plug it in to your data. And if you don't do that, then these AI integrations will fail. Remember, AI is very similar to HI, which is human intelligence. It doesn't do things massively different. So if the human problem isn't working, simply swapping out a human for a computer isn't going to solve it. Now, the computer can often do these processes quicker and simultaneously, so it actually will scale it negatively, and that is what you're trying to avoid. Now, I apologize. I'm not in my normal studio today. I'm actually going on about 3 months worth of touring and travel. I'm going to be in the UK. I'm going to be in Rome. Actually, I've got a conference which I'm headlining, and then I'm going to the Middle East and Asia at the beginning of the summer. So I wanted to come out today. I'm here on my boat in Miami. I'm out on the water enjoying it, but I also didn't want to miss this week's video. So I apologize if the sound is bad, but I'm not in my usual studio, and I'll be on the road at least for the next week. So I'm not going to be recording again from my studio next week. I'm going to be bringing you with me for along the ride, and I'll be actually in London and Leeds visiting the Big Words offices there. So if you don't want to miss those videos, please subscribe, give me a like. If you got any questions, put them down in the comments. Happy to answer any questions that I can. Until next week, have a good one.